this video, I'm going to show you how to get started with brushes and painting, or actually basic painting inside Photoshop. So the reason why I'm making this tutorial is because I wanted to talk about masking in the next video. And in order to get started with masking, we need to have a basic understanding of how brushes work. So the first thing is, let's take a look at the keyboard shortcut. If you want to jump to the keyboard, if you want to jump to the brush tool using the keyboard, just hit the B key on the keyboard. As soon as you do that, you'll see that your mouse, if you have selected anything else, you jump to the brush tool. Now, as soon as you jump to the brush tool, you'll see that there are a lot of things changing around here. And these are the different panels and options that you can use and change in order to get desired results. Now, before we get into this, I was going on Google and I was searching for matte painting. Actually, not Google, on DeviantArt. The links to all these images will be in the description, awesome people. And I wanted to show you all what does matte painting look like. This is great examples of matte painting. You see this is like CS3, right? About 200 layers of work. So you can understand how much work was put into this, but this was all done inside Adobe Photoshop. And this is beyond advanced. This is definitely mastery of matte painting. So this is what you can do with brushes, right? Another example, this is kind of like photo manipulation mixed with matte painting. All these mountain, the clouds, the fairy thing, all of this has been done with brushes. So that's what you can do, if you understand how to use brushes and just practice with them. This is what you can do, and this is what matte painting is all about. So let's take a look at the basics of brushes. So the B key is a keyboard shortcut, and friends, your Photoshop may be enabled to jump tools with the with pressing the B key. So for example, right now I have selected the brush tool. If I hit the B key again, I'll jump to the pencil tool. See that? So you always have to remember, what does a brush tool look like. If this is your if this is icon selected, then this is not the brush tool. This is the mixer brush. We want to work with the only brush tool. So that's how the icon looks like. Now there are a lot of different settings over here that you can do. The main one is opacity. Right here, I'm going to change that to 100. And here is a list of all the different brushes that come loaded with Photoshop. Now you can go to internet and download tons and tons of brushes for free, no charge, or anything like lighting brushes, grunge brushes, bushes, trees, etc. There is a huge list of of different brushes on the internet. So just go to Google, type in free brushes, and you will get them. Right? If you want to load a brush, just come to the settings icon, click over here, click on load. And when this dialog box pops up, just locate your brush, click on it, click on load, and it will load right here. Okay. Now there is a setting that you can do for changing the way these brushes come. Right now I've set this for showing me the name of the brushes. If you want, you can change this to stroke thumbnail. This gives you a basic idea of how what can the brush produce. For example, I'm going to be using this one. This is a soft round brush, so you can see that the edges are very soft, and if I paint with it, you can see that we get like a very soft edge to the corner. On the other hand, if I take this is hardened, so you can really see the difference. On this video tutorial, I'm not going to provide the project file because there's only one text that I'm using. You can actually work with the new button, with the new document, but I wanted to use a texture. So sorry, I'm not providing this texture though. I'm going to use this one right now. And you can change the size of the brush by coming over here and changing the size right here. See this? Up and down. And now you can paint as you want. Now you can change the hardness, but it should be enabled for the brush. Now you can see sometimes a brush may not have the hardness settings, so you cannot change the hardness of that brush. See that? But sometimes you do, so you can play around with the hardness setting. See that? Nice. Now, one more thing I would like to talk about is a keyboard shortcut. Now, how can you change the size of the brush with the keyboard shortcut? Because every time if you were to go up over here, then you'll be wasting a lot of time, right? So the keyboard shortcut for changing the size of the brush is the brackets key. Now, these brackets key are going to be beside the letter P on the keyboard. So the closing bracket is going to enlarge the brush, and the opening bracket is going to lower the size of the brush. One more thing I would like to talk about is what color does a brush use. Now the color depends upon the swatches over here. So right now I'm painting with black. because I have got black loaded in my foreground, right? If I change this to a red, I'll be painting with the red color. See that? Very nice, very easy. Next we have one more thing I would like to show you is the letter X. If you hit the letter X on the keyboard, you'll be switching your background and foreground color, and this is really good. I highly recommend learning this keyboard shortcut, because you know, when you'll be doing photo manipulation or say matte painting work, there will be times when you want to, you know, change the color of the brush again and again. You know, sometimes when I'm doing matte painting, like I'm not an expert in matte painting, but sometimes when I'm doing it, what I like to do is I like to have the same color but different shades of it, you know, to establish depth. So you can see right now I have this color. I can paint with this, and this creates a very good effect for blending. So you know, it really comes in handy that time. And that's how you work with the brushes, with the brushes inside Photoshop. Thank you so much for watching my video, friends.